Hi everybody, welcome to Gunpla TV.
Hey guys.
Brought to you by HobbyLink Japan.
And my red hand.
And your red hand, which belongs to the Iron Kong. And I see, Ryan, that you actually you managed to get a lot done there.
Yeah, I've done the arms. I've just got the legs left to do.
I imagine that's because your daughter still isn't home yet?
Yeah. Now she comes back this weekend, so
awesome.
Guys, don't expect much out of me for the next 12 years.
For the next, it's going to be a long time. Before you put any plastic together. And come in with bleary eyes.
And I'll have to focus.
All right.
Okay. So I'm gonna show the arms of the Kong.
Okay.
And then you are.
We're talking about perfect grace today.
Oh yes.
So I got lots of big things to show. Before I start putting on these enormously sized Plamo boxes and kits and whatever else, let's talk about what came in.
Yes.
And we're starting today with a book.
A book.
A book. Now this book has just arrived, and it's all about real grays.
Wow.
The RG line. You know, we've got 10 of the kits so far now. The number 11 is coming. So what they've done, I believe this is from Hobby Japan, and what they've done, Dengeki Hobby. In previous releases of the Dengeki Hobby magazine, when a kit came out, they give it to their professional modelers who would build it or build variations of it and paint it. And this is basically a collection of all the works that they've done into one spot. And the cool part of it is that it includes markings.
Oh, a decal sheet.
And decal sheets, so you can make your RX-72 look like the one that was in Odaiba.
Wow, this is like super limited edition.
It's fairly rare. We just got it.
I want to be a Gundam modeler hired by Bandai.
Yeah, could you imagine? You just get a kit like a month before it comes out.
Position, hey?
Yeah, somebody get on that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Bandai.
well, let's take a look actually
I'll call
some of the
Bandai.
things
Hello.
inside here.
Sorry.
So with this, of course, you're getting a lot of the kits. You know, they've all been released. But this is the professional modelers and the work that they have done. So of course you're going to see I love these colors. You're going to see how excellent they make just these tiny kits, how detailed they make them. But these are just, versions of their colors. They just kind of paint them up. What I really wanted to show you was some of the variations they've made. So here's the Strike Rouge. Before this wasn't available at the time this guy made this version of it. Now it's available through the Bandai store, or was, but now it's not. But this one, you're not going to see this anywhere other than this magazine. This guy took the Strike RG and he made himself the Strike Noir. You can see that he basically had to use some HG parts for the wings and do a lot of plastic work in there. And then you can see the resemblance in the legs, right? These look like the normal legs, but once you get up to these shoulders and the wings, it's completely different. So for those that are interested in it, they actually break it down for you. They give you before and after shots and what's been done. And if you feel inclined to give it a try, you can go ahead and try to make your own Strike Rouge. More versions. Including the dual Gundam, actually. An RG dual Gundam. That's pretty crazy. And for those who like Zaku's, of course, they've got their Zaku's in there. Including, actually this is really good, Dengeki always gives you these little tips and tutorials. Usually in their magazines, there's only 1 page, 2 pages of just tutorials on how to give a certain effect to your kit, so you can try to copy what they do. And then they even have these dioramas.
Damn, I wish they had these in English, like the tutorials.
Yeah, there's a lot of work going into these dioramas, that's for sure. And just the sheer amount of time it would make something like that. And now here is the decal sheet. They show you the decal sheet. And I guess 4 years ago now, 3.5 years ago now, they put that 1/1 scale Gundam up in Odaiba. There's a shot of them there. I actually went and saw that. It was epic. And now they're, for some reason now, all these years later, they're actually giving you the sticker sheet. And you can go ahead and you can make your own.
That isn't... So you'd actually have the same markings as the one that's in Odaiba.
Yeah, the one that was in Odaiba at the time. You can do the same thing. Here's actually the actual size of it. We'll show that so people realize what they're looking at. And while we're here, I'll show the real color.
Okay.
When I first saw this in Dengeki Hobby way back when, I actually was so taken aback by this color scheme that I made one for myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I did the same thing. The red back here, all black with the green, and it turned out pretty good. And I had to contact somebody to get me the decals.
The great thing in Japan actually is the quality of the printing for these magazines and the photos are
Japan
insane.
really does books properly.
Yeah.
But they've been having books recorded writings going back thousands of years
Yeah.
as opposed to other civilizations. So they kind of know how to do.
And just the quality,
material.
like if you're into Gundam and you want just super beautiful pictures,
Yeah.
any of the magazines,
Yeah.
or even the
They're
big
all
hobby
great.
magazine.
Yeah, they're awesome. This is
Yeah.
where all the pictures come from.
So, yeah.
I'll give that to you.
Highly
Move on.
recommended.
Yes. Okay. Next up, the Delta Plus. It's SD.
SD.
SD Delta Plus. Now we've shown the MG Delta Plus in the show, and there's some. Did we show it in the show? We talked about it in the show. There's some issues with it, of course, because of those long legs. It had problems standing up. People had to come up with ways to fix it. Some very ingenious people out there are able to get their Delta Plus to stand up. But I'm kind of excited because this SD
Won't have that problem.
it's not going to have any of those issues.
It's got short little legs.
It's got these short, stubby little legs. But, you know, if you want to get it to fly around and things like that, they do include a stand.
Oh, very nice.
And the stand is actually the base jabber. I think it's right here.
So you like SDs? Do you have many SDs?
I don't have very many.
No?
But if for a quick Gundam fix, if you like a suit, you can whip it up here. And one thing I wanted to mention is that they designed the base jabber at the bottom of it,
Yeah.
so that you can put
that's
all the
cool.
little extra pieces that you need when you're not transforming your Delta Plus into its wave rider. You can store them all on the bottom.
Actually, SDs have come a far way, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with the UC-SDs. I mean, the Unicorn SD, it could actually transform. Like it could be the Unicorn Gundam destroy motor as well as like an actual like unicorn shape. And of course the Sinanju was awesome. And the Kshatriya was massive as well. So you get these kind of huge boxes for your Gundam UC kits. It's actually really cool. And HG, there's a new HG today. It's the Shaldoll Rogue. What do you think, man? I don't know. It's black.
It's kind of retro, no?
It kind of looks like a cross between a Jim and a Jesta.
Yeah.
So it might be the Gundam Age version of those suits. I mean, it's definitely got the Jim head. But when you compare it to the character suits like the Age and Age2 and the double bullet, it's kind of plain looking. But that's okay. There's room for everybody in the Gunpla universe.
Well, this would be quite cool if you painted it up in like a matte black and
Oh,
like
you
put
could
some
do
LEDs
so
in
much
it.
stuff in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, just arrived.
Yeah, okay, so that's all I got to show for the new stuff.
Okay,
So Ryan, it's going to be your turn now, and you're going to talk about that
I'm gonna shine.
Kong.
Okay. So as you can see, I've made an arm.
You sure have. I got to say, like, I'm going to talk about perfect grades today, but even that arm looks massive to me.
And let me I'll grab what we showed last week just
Okay.
to get a bit of scale.
The arm is longer than that master grade kit.
But yeah, I mean, I found the arms a little bit more difficult. There's a lot of little pieces,
Mm-hmm.
and but there is a bit of movement in the fingers.
Yep.
I'll show you. Here's what it looks like if it's in a fist.
Okay, so it can kind of bend, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's got a
similar to the
thumb.
perfect grades with the individual joints and everything. That's cool.
And there is this little. I won't show the movement here, but
Mhm.
there is a little bit of movement. But let me. What I'm actually going to demonstrate is how to put the arm together
Okay.
and the pieces involved. So I've done most of the assembly. This is, I guess you could say, the elbow.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit of movement there.
Yeah.
These little things in there. What was
Oh,
the
there's
word for that?
grooves.
There's little grooves, Sid.
Yeah, that's cool.
And you can move it. I would be a bit wary if you do push it too much. This is quite a bit of tension in here.
Mhm.
It does tend to just open up.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's so many little pieces in here. I'll just pop open a few things and you can get a look. So there's a lot of little pieces you've got to take into consideration
Mhm.
when you're putting this together, and especially around this part here. Well, I won't break it apart, but you've got to be very careful when you're looking at the manual to
Yeah.
make sure that everything is slotting in where it's meant to slot,
Mhm.
or else it just won't be able to move properly. So be warned when you get to the arm. But this thing does move a little bit.
Yep.
So that's pretty sweet.
That looks cool.
And I showed you the hand,
Mhm.
which opens up a little bit. It's pretty cool.
I love the colors. With the
Yeah.
red on the top, it looks like a monkey hand.
And a lot of little pieces, so just keep that in mind when you're putting it together. And then I guess this is just one of the joints you make.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the shoulder pad, the shoulder.
Yep.
Which is pretty straightforward. I assume something is going to mount on here. But let me just put this guy together quickly. So it's basically just making sure you have the right angle there.
Mm. It's got polycaps in there, no?
Yeah, it's got polycaps, so it should go in pretty easily. Yep, there we go. So there we have the arm. What I need to do over here is just put this guy on. This is the hardest part.
I know. Even with Gundam, when you're trying to put shoulders on,
Yeah, you have
when
to
you
use,
already have one on,
Yeah.
it's tough to apply that pressure properly.
Okay. I've probably not got this at the right angle either.
It's okay. We'll wait.
We'll wait. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we have the shoulder in there. And then I just need to clip the arm on here. It's so huge. Okay, babe.
That's all right.
Okay. I didn't use too much force because I don't want to snap this apart here. But yeah, this is not a problem. This just clips in there. I'll probably go along later and just tighten everything up.
Oh yeah.
But so there we have the arms. Can you see it all?
Oh yeah. It's huge. But we can get in the shot.
Yeah, it's massive. It is huge. Let's just get the Tallgeese.
It's gonna eat that thing.
Yeah, he's like, hey baby, you're
Yeah,
my kind of Gundam.
It's like King Kong. Get in my hand. I'll carry you around New York City.
Well, that's
awesome.
the iron.
So what's left
far.
is just the legs.
Just the legs.
Okay.
I did this bit, but I showed that last
Yeah,
week.
yeah. We already talked about that one.
And then, yeah, I'm kind of done. Okay, well, that's the Kong.
Yeah, that's good.
Super exciting. So now you're going to show us some PG goodness.
I'm gonna show you some PG stuff, and I'm gonna start as small in the PG thing.
You're going to start a small PG?
So, Ryan, you know what this is?
I think I do, Sid, but
Yeah.
enlighten me.
Okay. You know what time it is? Why don't you tell me? It's the shield for the master grade version of the Strike Freedom.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks pretty
Should I
cool, and it's
pull
pretty
that?
big for a shield.
Yeah, it's
especially an MG. Okay, here's the PG version. There's the PG version. It's made from the same material, but as you can see, there is quite the difference in size. So
like
PG
what?
being 160 and MG being 100. But you know, I like to throw a few more examples out there.
Okay.
We talk about weapons. Okay, well, here's one, Ryan. I'll cut you.
That
down.
is nuts.
Yeah, this is the sword.
That's illegal,
the
I'm
blade
sure,
from
in
the,
some countries.
from the perfect grade strike, the strike Gundam. And this piece,
Yeah.
if you want to replace it from Bandai, it costs as much as a high grade kit, just because it's just so massive and they have to mail it to you. Yeah, so don't break it, eh? But yeah, my switchblade.
no.
Somebody tried to mug me the other day.
Yeah. I have my Gundam switchblade.
But let's talk about the suit itself. So last week we showed the Tallgeese. I still got it here. So here's our friend the Tallgeese. And now the wing master grades in general
Yes.
are a little bit smaller than a lot of the other ones. For example, Seed.
Okay.
The last few we've shown over the last year or so. But to compare with that, I'm going to bring out one of the bigger MGs here. I got a Sinanju. I've actually got this guy in the studio because I'm ready for the release of the Sinanju Stein in 2 weeks. And when that comes out, we're going to be doing some comparisons.
Be exciting.
Oh, I cannot wait. So as you can see, it's significantly taller than that Tallgeese. But what about a PG? Well, there it is. Now, what I like most about perfect grades, and a lot of people I think feel the same way, is that when you look at the frame, it's just the sheer amount of pieces. For example, if you're building even a master grade frame, you're usually going to get 2 pieces here that will sandwich the elbow joint that you create, and then 2 pieces to make the forearm. Well, with the perfect grade, you can see that I've got these joints all in here. Just for this arm, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 assemblies, 5 assemblies in there, which means that you get to have all these kind of mini articulations, like mini joints here, instead of just having this straight thing that bends. You actually get to move it just that little bit. Helps with your posing and carrying the weapons. And it's just an illustration, an example of just what goes into making the frame on this kit. And another thing that's worth mentioning for the perfect grades is that they give you these I guess chromed runners is the best thing to say. And you actually get the pistons, and you can see all in the hips and the arms here. You get these parts, so when this guy starts to move, they will compress into the housings. Yeah, there's one actually in the back of the arm here. And then you get them in the back of the leg here, as well as the ankle. You can see that in there. And then this is the flexibility you get in the foot on the strike. This is pretty awesome. Yeah. This is actually the, as you can tell by looking at the armor, it's the clear version, the 30th anniversary Ale Strike clear version. And we had this on the show to talk about clear armor parts. And in this case, I just kept it on his head just to show everybody so they could recognize it as a strike. But I haven't put the other armor parts on because I like looking at the frame so much. And I want to spend some time in
the detail in the frame is actually beautiful.
I want to spend some time and actually detail up the frame with a lot of paint before I even think about putting the armor on. So this guy stayed naked like this for a large period of time. Let me just pop that back on here. And you can see that there is still polycaps in for joints. You know, you're not going to get away from that. They don't have this new magical solution to polycaps when you go to perfect grade. It's just that they're stiffer and they're bigger and they will hold everything a little better. And you can see the armor pieces the frame pieces will move when you start bending. And you get this in the master grade too, but not to this extent, which is awesome. Now, one thing that I can't show you because I don't think I have the battery right now is that perfect grades, almost all of them, they'll come with this gimmick for an LED, and you can light up the head of this guy, and you can light up the head of the Strike Freedom and the RX-72 and whatnot. But they even take it a step further in some of their kits. I'll put this guy aside here, and here is the 00 Riser. This guy's like 3 years old now, and this is one monstrous kit. And you can say, well, that box is huge. I mean, it is huge. It looks pretty standard, but when you flip it this way,
yes,
it's so fat. It's like two of them. I mean, here's the old RX-782 box, you know? I'll put it right there. With the O-Riser, you're basically getting something, you know, twice as much plastic. It's pretty crazy. And before we get on to what the O-Riser gives you, we might as well have a look inside the RX-782 box. Here he is, taking it back old school. Now, I don't know if you knew this or not, Ryan, but the RX-782 is the prototype Gundam, the main Gundam. Everybody knows it. Did you know that this was not the first perfect grade model that Bandai put out?
Really?
Yeah, the first perfect grade model Bandai released is Evangelion.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
really?
they did the EVA 01 as a perfect grade, and from there they took that engineering design element and they went and they did the started Gundams. So first came the RX-72 and then the Zaku, and then I think we had there was a Zeta which transformed. You can see you get these chrome pieces in here. And the Zeta transformed, got all these fingers. And then you had the Titans and also the AUG. Here's some, look at the size of the beam sabers here. And of course, fat armor parts. And these aren't even that big when you think of a PG. This is a small guy. But we'll show the big piece right here. Here's the beam saber handles up top here, followed by the shield. So even that RX-72, which is now one of the smaller Gundams actually when you think about it, when you compare it to a lot of the other suits that have come out since that guy came out. The RX-72, which could be one of the smaller ones, even it is huge in a 1/60 scale. But let's talk about the O-Riser, which kind of took the LED concept a little further. Move this guy away. Back. Put this guy back up here. Now you can see, looking at the artwork that they've done for this kit, it's got all these sparkliness going on here.
Sparkly.
Yeah. It's actually because they have given you, if I can get it up here, LEDs. So of course the LED works for the head, right here. LED works for the head. But now you get it also in the GN drives. These are actually made to light up. So all you do is provide the battery for the most part, and once they provide everything you need and the instructions on how to actually get that guy to light up. Oh, and while I'm showing this, I want to show all the
that spaceship, does it transform or does it come with a...
Well, this is the O-Riser. So the suit itself, the big thing is the 00 Gundam. And the Riser is that thing that goes on its back. And it actually does change into a ship flight mode.
Okay.
And it's supposed to dock onto the Gundam.
Mm-hmm.
They connect, and that's what makes it so monstrously powerful. You can take these things that are hanging on the shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
You can take them off and connect them to that O-riser flight thing, and it will fly around.
That's
and of course
beautiful.
light up. It is awesome. And speaking of backpacks here, actually I'll show this. Now the original Strike Gundam, which is what you're looking at here for the most part, it came just like this. Just a normal Strike. Of course you got that big sword, and it had its shield and its rifle and its beam sabers. But that was it. But people out there know, you know, there's lots of variations of the Strike, and they usually come with backpacks. They have the Ale Strike and the Strike Rouge. Well, Bandai did produce the Strike Rouge, and they also produced an add-on which allowed you to change your Strike Gundam into the Ale Strike. And when they put out the 30th anniversary edition, they actually included it all together. So I actually have it right here. This guy. This is the backpack.
Oh, that's very, very nice.
Yes, and we'll just slap it in here. And there he is.
Huh?
It looks pretty great now.
Yeah.
We showed the perfect grade version, or the real grade version of the suit when it came out. And the one problem it had was the backpack would just be so heavy. It would not stand up in that scale. Of course, this guy being so big with that frame so solid, he stands up no problem. But don't forget that Bandai actually includes stands for a lot of their perfect grades, so you will be able to like make this guy stand up. I think the Strike Freedom, the Strike, they come with stands. The O-Riser had a bonus stand that came with at one point. So if you can get those stands, and these guys will be able to pose and whatever action scene you want them to do. And some people are really good when it comes to posing these guys. I prefer just to let them stand up because I want my mecha to be towering over me. That's how I like it. I'd actually like to be able to show you more of actually what it takes to build a perfect grade. But one thing I discovered during my Gunpla travels is that the difference between a perfect grade and a master grade isn't that much. It's just that you're using more parts. I mean, in some cases, a master grade is more difficult because the parts are just smaller at 1/100 instead of 160. If you have experience with a master grade, then moving to a bigger part isn't a problem if you follow the instructions and you take your time, and the design is done so well that everything fits together so well that you shouldn't be, you know, scared or daunted of having to build one of these things, because it's in some ways it's easier than the smaller stuff. So if anybody out there hasn't tried a perfect grade yet, I actually encourage you to do so and have that experience and decide for yourself, like, is it too much for some, or, you know.
So should I try?
Oh, of course you should try, Ryan. I tell everybody to try.
Any new PGs coming out?
That's the thing with the price point being higher.
Yeah.
Bandai kind of shied away from them for the last couple of years.
Okay.
And the last one being the Strike Freedom, which of course is the biggest and most expensive. But even the old ones, like the Strike Gundam, this guy, just the Strike, is I think like 10,000 yen or less.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably the best Gundam I've ever put together.
And you probably get so much out of it as well.
Yeah, like in you know, master grades, like, you know, I've built a couple of these guys. I'll put this guy back on here. And this guy is one of the more complex master grades, but because I have so much experience building these things, I actually was able to put this guy together, even with this cut part I made a mistake on. This is my bad, so I used some sticky tack there, but I put this guy together in about 4 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's because I'm experienced with this kit and with master grades in general. However, the first time I tried this guy, you know, I was actually at home by myself because my family was away, and this guy took me 2 days. I had to stop and, you know, just take a break. And it's just so many parts, but it wasn't difficult. It was just the amount of parts I had to do, and that's not even doing the armor. I haven't done the armor yet. I still got that on the runners. I just can't wait. But I have to do all this first. So, you know, they still open and close. And, you know, I can't speak enough about the quality of this kit. That's for sure. So anybody out there who has not tried a perfect grade, definitely try it. And I also want to ask everybody to actually on Facebook post pictures of your perfect grade.
That's a nice idea.
Because, like I said, I can't break these out and show you all. There's too many. It would take too long, and they're expensive. We don't want to have to, like, you know, open all these up. But there's a lot of people out there who have built the perfect grades, and they'll be able to show just, you know, how big it is and what it looks like when it's finished. So I want everybody, if they can, to post pictures of the perfect grade on Facebook, because I look forward to seeing them. All right, so here I've got kind of the biggest here. that we've shown today, with of course the perfect grade being the biggest. And this actually, the Strike, it's not even the biggest perfect grade.
What's the biggest?
Probably the Strike Freedom.
Oh,
That
that's the one
we've
with the
shown on the
huge,
show
yeah.
way back when it came out a couple of Decembers ago.
That was
And
insane.
yeah, and the O-Riser is also pretty monstrous with those big shoulders. So.
Actually, you know, if now's the time to buy Gundam. The yen is actually
Yeah,
very
the yen
cheap.
is just dropped compared to that dollar.
So if you've been waiting for your PG
Almost
kit,
1-1.
I think
Yeah.
you could save 15% on what you usually.
Yeah, you
used
save
to
at least
pay.
10.
Yeah, at least
Because
10.
we were hovering around 77 American cents, and now we're up to 95. Like it's
So yeah.
you're gonna
Now's
save
the time.
15% at least
Yeah.
for anybody who's waiting to buy the big kits anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or any kit.
Or anything. Yeah.
Anything we sell.
All right. So we
Question
have some,
time.
We have some comments and some questions. I'm ready.
Okay, so we'll start
I
off with signed Harris.
Okay.
I, I just want to know, are the MG new Gundam version car frame better than the MG EW Tallgeese frame?
I don't know how to go about answering that because they're completely different suits.
Yep.
So the design of the frame is completely different.
Okay.
Although they both are made from that polystyrene, so they're both very light. I think for functionality, the Tallgeese frame is probably more stable simply because it's smaller.
Okay.
With the new Gundam, you have the spin funnels in the back, which might kind of cause it to lean, and there's not much weight to the actual suit itself because of the lighter frame. But I mean, they're kind of two different things. You can't really compare them.
Okay.
Mhm.
We'll just agree to disagree. Next is Gundam Lover Unicorn.
That's an interesting name. Do you think that he loves the Gundam and the unicorn?
He loves unicorn.
Okay, unicorns are great.
I've always loved Gundam, and I just made my account, so I was wondering, is Japan making another unicorn Gundam?
By another, does he mean?
You mean-
Another means there was one in the first place, and there's already lots. Like, is he talking the
maybe
OVA?
he means.
Is he talking the anime, like the manga? Is he talking?
You could say there will be another unicorn,
But
coming.
Yeah, the Gundam number 6. You see
Okay.
number 6 is on its way. Actually, it's going to be in the theaters really quickly here, a couple
Okay.
months, next
So-
month. And there's still more kits coming. We just put on our site the HGUC full armor unicorn,
Yes.
and we also put on our site the magazine, the Gundam UC Ace Volume 5, which actually comes with a little Banshee.
Okay.
So there's more
There's
unicorn
stacks
stuff
of
being pumped out
unicorn.
all the time. It's a hot property for Bandai, so you're not going to see it stop really anytime soon.
So yeah, Unicorn Lover. Just
Yeah.
check out the top page, and you'll see a
Yeah.
bunch of unicorns.
You'll see some unicorn.
I love unicorns, and
Unicorns-
rainbows.
Unicorns exist.
Yes.
HLJ.com.
Next is from Duke4799.
Mhm.
Sid and Ryan and Sid, any chance you'll ever talk about the original Gunpla line of kits? They are glued together, which is something many modern Gunpla builders just aren't used to anymore. I think they would be an interesting segment idea. The 1/60th scale RX-78-2 is getting re-released and has a transforming core fighter that it fits inside of it.
Mhm.
You should consider showing off a piece of Gunpla history.
Well, I actually had considered showing off the glue kits. The problem is that they're not in stock very often
we
because they're so
don't.
old and
Yeah.
you know the
I
demand.
have
is,
one at home.
Demand is not so high. However, that said, when Bandai does re-release them, they just produce a whole bunch of them,
Mhm.
and then they're there for 6 months or whatever. So we actually just got some restocks
Oh,
of like the old like Zaku 2. You know, it's just this tiny box with, you know, it's not molded in color. It's just gray, and you have to glue it together. But yeah, I'll bring out a pile of those.
okay. That
We'll
sounds
talk about
cool. Thanks
Yeah.
for the idea.
Yeah.
Next is Czech Sky 331. Nice episode. Looking forward to the Pat Labor episode. Pat Labor?
Pat Labor. Pat Labor.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it was
The
one of the
or
first.
two, I think. Yeah.
It was one of the first Japanese anime that I
Mm.
encountered back in.
It was epic.
Canada.
Epic.
Mm.
Ah, the good old days. Well, he continues.
Fun
Fun
well,
fact.
Ryan stopped.
It's like bubbles.
That's right.
Fun fact. Izubuchi designed the Ingrams from Pat Labor along with most of the suits in Char's counterattacked. The G-Gun, the new
new
Gundam,
Gundam.
etc. So it would be cool to see an Ingram and a G-Gun side by side.
Well, once I get that Ingram built, I have to wait for the restock. And once I get that built, we'll put it next to
Oh.
a Jigen or whatever we have, and we'll compare
Mm-hmm.
so people can see. You know, same mecha designer. I think the Pat Labor look more like. They look less like a Gundam than
Yeah,
some of the other stuff you see out there. But definitely you can see the resemblance in some of the, like he mentioned, the Char's counterattack suits, things like that.
Memories.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch Pad Labor again.
Yeah, same. Next is R559881.
Where does that number
Is
come
that your
from?
birthday? Is that the password to your account?
I was going to say, you know, for people who don't know, in Japan, many times people will have like their keitai, their cell phone email address, and it usually goes something along the lines of their name, the year they were born, the month, and the day.
Really?
Oh, have you not noticed that? Somebody say, "Oh, send me a message," and they give you their email, and it's like the first time I met my wife, it was her birthday. And then when I was teaching English to some kids, her mom contact info was the kid's name, their birthday, the second kid's name, and their birthday, all one string for an email address. And it's like it's a regular occurrence. It'll happen more often than not. So you can almost guess somebody's birthday when they give you their keitai cell phone information. So I'm looking at this and it's kind of throwing me for a loop. He can't have been born in 55.
No. Anyway, hey guys, simple
Sorry, I
question.
digress.
What's the most rare Gundam kit you've ever seen?
The rarest Gundam kit I've ever seen is probably a 115 scale. They have this massive thing in the mall near my house.
Yeah.
They have a hobby shop, and there's this massive RX-72. Apparently they did an RX-72 and a Zaku.
Okay.
And the Char Zaku in I think it was a 115 scale or something. It was like 4 feet high.
Talking about rare Gundam, like I had a dream about a Gundam.
Yeah.
And it was like in the mist, and I was chasing it, and I just couldn't catch it.
Was it a
It was
unicorn?
just like my unicorn. I swear to God. I woke. Anyway, Neon Wave 1.
You might want to take a break and or medication.
I dream about crazy stuff. The 144 Tallgeese I have isn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
I want an MG Tallgeese, but it's expensive. The yen is cheap. Neon Wave.
The Tallgeese and the Wing kits are actually some of the cheaper MGs around.
Yeah, so spend your money. And speaking of Star Wars, I'm going to be evil and ask Ryan to watch the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Ha.
And I would like to hear his thoughts on it after watching it. I have kind of seen it.
I've seen it all. I used to have a pirated copy of the VHS that I bought in a comic store.
Wasn't Lucas just murdering people if they had it?
Yeah, because it was so bad he didn't want it out there.
It is so bad. Like it is. I watched part of it and I was like shocked that this was.
Come on, man! You got B. Arthur in there, and Golden Girls way back when.
But it's so like the production.
Princess Leia when
value
she's on
is
cocaine.
terrible.
Chewbacca's family.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good.
Soldier X105. That doesn't bring back good memories. Hey Sid and Ryan, I was wondering if you guys could make a video tour of the warehouse and show us the cool new stuff around us. I know from the past episodes you guys showed it, but that was like 2-something years ago.
That's true. We haven't been.
I think
on the
episode
warehouse
1.
for a while.
If you make a video tour, I'm pretty sure some kids will catch viewers' eyes and they might go purchase them. I think it's a great idea for HLJ.
That is a great idea for
Across
HLJ.
range. Well, my job is marketing, dude, and you can't be coming up with ideas.
That's right.
It's all me.
We get paid. Somebody gets paid to come up with these ideas. And he'll go to Scott, I have this excellent idea.
Yeah.
I think
More
if we
warehouse.
show footage of the warehouse, people might see something and buy it. And then maybe he'll get a raise. I don't know.
Yeah,
But it's all
that's a good idea.
It's all Balka 82 or what's his name?
Soldier X.
Soldier X
Soldier
105.
I just took your idea.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry. You can expect videos in the warehouse soon,
Yeah.
produced by
Okay.
Ryan. I'll just watch them.
Screenplay by Ryan.
Okay,
Yeah.
next. Bulgus 82. Don't worry about Disney owning Star Wars. Don't forget they also own Marvel, and Marvel movies have been great. I agree with you. But
Marvel is a comic book.
I will say the same thing I said last week, which was Star Wars was unique for its time. And I enjoy Pirates of the Caribbean.
Star Trek was also unique for its time, but they were unique in different ways.
Yeah.
They were not the same, and then the concern I think you have is that they're going to be too similar.
I mean, I love the Marvel movies. They're great popcorn movies, but sometimes I want to be engaged. You know, I want sci-fi that, you know what I mean? Like you're a kid again and you just see something and your brain just explodes and you spend a lot of money on toys. But yeah, let's go to Joshua Carver.
Okay.
Happy fatherhood, Ryan. Thank you. Happy inventory, Sid. Cough.
No, thank you.
I have a question about the Tallgeese. Does the MG come with water slide decals or is it a normal dry transfer that the other MG wing kits have been coming with. I'm a fan of water slide after watching a show and was wondering if I will have to get some third-party water slides or not.
I also prefer water slides, and the bad news, if you can call it that, is that the Tallgeese does not come with them.
Oh, okay.
It comes with the normal
Really?
stickers that you can expect.
Can you buy a third-party?
I'm sure some people will start printing them at some point soon. What they'll probably do is they'll take the dry transfer sheet or the sticker sheet and they'll scan it and they'll make a decal version of waterside decal version of it. So I'm sure they'll show up soon enough.
And he continues.
That said, hold on, I'm going to continue here. While people do not like stickers, and that's for good reason, dry transfers, if you're good with them, work excellent, and they look really good.
Can you use sprays over them and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. Of course you can.
But you can use any water slides. Like, we have so many really awesome military water slides. Or
we
just
also have sci-fi. There's companies that all they do is make aftermarket parts and decals for Gundam and mecha kits, and you can get like a sheet that has a whole bunch of like generic ones, but they're definitely mecha. You definitely look at them and you know what they're for. They said same as the Gundam, the caution, the warning, all those.
Or if you're into F1, we have all these really amazing F1 decals. You could do an F1 Gundam.
Yeah, like a Ferrari.
Yeah, you could have your Marlboros. Can I say that? Is that advertising?
I don't know, advertising director. You tell me.
Don't smoke.
Okay, good.
Also, have you ever tried? Also, have you ever tried to paint those tiny figures that come with the Wing MG kits or any of the other MG kits? They sit in a bag unpainted on my shelf, and I was wondering how they paint such tiny pieces so well. Do you have any experience?
Yeah, I tried a couple times to use like a marker and stuff to add some detail to those, but I felt that the amount of time you would have to spend for the reward you get back, this tiny thing that you might be able to see, wasn't worth it.
No.
But that said, like when you see people who are really good at it in the hobby magazines, and they look really good. Like the moldings of those, they're just this tall, right? But the moldings that Bandai gives you are so detailed that if you do take one of those fine tip brush and paints, you can make them look fantastic. But I'm not that kind of guy.
No, and neither am I. And respect to anyone who does it.
Even
those guys who do the like huge ships, but in like the tiny scales with all the little details and stuff.
Or the people who make just like 1/72 or 1/30 airplanes and 1/48 scale airplanes, and they do the pilot. Like even that, like it's a little bigger or whatever, but yeah, it takes a lot of skill.
Yeah, and my magnifying glass.
Yeah, and a lot of people you'll see they have the magnifying glass.
Yeah.
It's just something that they flip down so they can zoom in right in and see what they're working on. You need a fine tip brush, and you need to make sure it's clean.
And no distractions.
That's right. No 3-month-old babies.
That's all the questions. Thank you so much for everyone who asked questions.
Yep.
And just remember, you can post them on YouTube, Facebook, HobbyLink TV, and we do some stuff on Reddit.
There you go.
Anything else? Twitter sometimes?
No, just be sure to keep watching, because now that we've done the perfect grade, next ones we got to look at are like SD and of course the big master grade. And the master grade's a big one.
And mega size.
And yeah, we'll look at mega size.
I've got
3 of them. Yeah, we'll look at the mega size, and hopefully we'll get into other things that people have wanted to see for some time too. So that's my aim actually for the start of this year, is to get a lot of stuff out that people have been asking for over a period of time, and we could combine that with all the big new releases that are coming out in the next 2 months. We know the next 2 months are going to be pretty good. And
hopefully I'll have my Iron Kong finished, and then I think I'll do a vote again for what I should do next.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do some weathering on him, but we'll see.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, that's all I got. If anybody enjoyed seeing the perfect grade episode,
share your love.
And if you've built one, be sure to send in a comment.
Yes.
Let us know, which one you built, what you thought. Is it something you want to continue with? Is it? Do you think it's a good investment for the price they are? Things like that. I do.
I think,
especially when we have that our price is 20% off.
I mean, the engineering is just
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Okay. See you later.